Forex market analytics, guys, we're back. Take a look at this one. We got the pound versus the Canadian following up on a bearish position that we announced about 5 days ago, right? Price was still actually forming the right shoulder, still kind of constructing the right shoulder. We were on top of that one. We called it out as we were looking at, the right shoulder in the making, and we pulled the trigger. Right? When price landed on that neckline, we were probably a little bit overconfident, and we actually pulled the trigger the second time. Then this is what happened, guys. Right? Price was actually reacting to that neckline, found probably, as you can see, solid support, and we've had that positive day. Right? That didn't look very good. So what we did, we pulled out from the first trade, which was right on the break-even point. So up until now, we haven't registered any loss here, and we're still keeping this position alive. We don't think that even though price did have a bit of a reaction here on that neckline, we don't think that's the end of it. We think price will engage again with that neckline and it will break it eventually. If you remember, when we were here last time, I was calling out this particular bearish opportunity as one of our top favorite trading techniques. One that we like to call the key reversal spike, right? The key reversal spike, if you remember, was originating from the monthly chart, right? I've showed you this really spectacular spike that's slicing right across that 72.72, which is a big key level, right? And I suggested that the combination of this huge spike right on that, crossing on that strong key level, significant key level, is a very significant reversal, pattern, right? It's a strong indication for a full-fledged downside reversal. That's what we are usually looking for, right? We're looking for those tipping points, for those reversal, movements. In this case, coming back, crossing back below 72.72, leaving that huge spike on the monthly chart. Also, by the way, backed up with this really impressive head and shoulders pattern. I'm saying impressive because this is what you would like to see in a head and shoulders pattern, right? You have very shallow shoulders, pretty symmetrical, and then you got a massive head right in between. That's a pretty strong head and shoulders pattern, I gotta tell you. In this case, I would assess the success rate for this particular reversal pattern at around 80 or 85%, which is pretty high, right? So that's why we're still here. We weren't shaken off by that upside move we had a couple of days ago, and as you can see today, it looks like we're back on the downside. Hopefully, we'll be threatening that neckline pretty soon. Hopefully today, if not today, possibly tomorrow. Now, on the flip side, guys, if price is not going to close in on that neckline, right, from this point on, straight up, then, and instead it will actually continue to edge higher, then you can be sure that we'll be considering pulling out, right? We have no patience on this one. We expect price to head straight to that neckline and begin to break it. If it's not going to be the case, we're going to pull out, right? We have a very small position in place. We can allow ourselves to get to take a small loss, but we're gonna try to cut that loss, as soon as possible and not take the risk as it presented here by our stop loss level. Of course, the stop loss level is kind of the last line of resort in case there's gonna be like an unusual move. We like to have that kind of insurance policy. But it does sit pretty far away, and we almost never use the stop loss level to get ourselves out of positions, right? All right, guys. So there you go. I think I've said enough about this one. Pound versus the Canadian. We're still very much bearish on this one, but we're watching this very closely. We should be seeing price begin the move that we expect to see. If not, we'll be out of there. That's it. It's about that for today. Enjoy the rest of the day. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care.